Calgary leaves a lot of opportunity to shoot a lot of different things. I mean, it's a great city for urban shooting if that was your thing, but for me, the outdoors and the mountains being an hour and a half out my door is great to grab the camera and go shoot. And there's so many opportunities here with lakes and rivers and hikes and scrambles and climbing. Like, it's endless. I'm Stevin Tuchiwsky, currently residing in Calgary, Alberta. Do a lot of outdoor photography. We just did 2 days here out in Banff and Jasper, Nordegg area. Yeah, we spent the last 2 days out in Banff, Jasper, Nordegg, I guess you could say chasing ice. Went to find some ice caves, a frozen waterfall, and then we ended up here at Abraham Lake to try to find some nice photos. So.
Last year was a pretty significant cave here, so hopefully it didn't melt out too much during the summer months. Always insane to see inside these things. It's kind of like you're touching history because it's been here for so long, right? Looks like there is some cool formations up here, so hopefully we can get into a weak spot of the glacier and find an ice cave and explore around a bit. I think it should be pretty cool, and fingers crossed that works out in our favor. Walk a bit to your right now. Just on this cool ice arch here. It's a pretty cool composition with the mountain in the background, and then always depending on, like, if I want a landscape shot or a more adventurous shot, try to incorporate like a human element. Obviously it's well known that a lot of people do it just for a sense of scale, so I think it's really cool though. Like, you can see this natural arch for where the glacier's melted, and just putting Ryan in the shot here for a bit of perspective with that, and the backdrop of this mountain with the clouds looks pretty dramatic right now.
All photography, I think, has a logistical challenge, but with outdoors, there's planning of gear and weather and timing and so forth. So I think the biggest thing always for outdoors is weather, and with any photography, you always want the best light, and sometimes that's not the case for being outdoors, so you got to make the best of do and trudge on with what you have.
I try to tell myself to like shoot more and more, because sometimes when I get home I'll see something that I didn't maybe realize that I saw when here in person. Like previous in the past, like I would always kind of have like a shot envisioned in my head, and I was kind of always chasing that, and I think it maybe limited me a little bit on creativity sometimes. So yeah, I keep trying to tell myself shoot more, shoot more, shoot more now when I go out to get a lot of variety, and then when I go home there is some times where I'm like, oh, I didn't think that looked that interesting out here, but when you see it on a big screen it looks a lot different, right? And just walk straight, same line, a little bit more on the left there. Yeah. Sick. You want to come back now?
What are you hoping for in here?
I don't know. I have to go in a bit and try to find a composition and have you somewhere in it too. So we'll see. Gotta get back there.
That's wicked. Alright. You kind of want me to hold the pose, or like
yeah,
walk?
you're gonna have to hold it because I'm gonna have to long
you're doing a long exposure.
Look a little up. Yeah. So try to breathe out heavy when I tell you to. Up or other way? No, sorry. A little left.
Okay.
Yeah, and up a little bit. And a little bit more left, just a hair. Yeah, right there. Okay, hold still. Shooting.
We just finished shooting the first cave. and Stevin was basically just getting me to walk along with the ice axe and kind of like right down the middle, and then I was all backlit from the natural light coming in this way. Stevin was further in the cave shooting towards me, and it was took a couple different takes, a couple different angles, and yeah, I think we're all pretty stoked on some of the shots everyone's getting. Oh, what are you looking at here?
Another cave. I just tried the other one. The other one's just over here. So this one's a little bit bigger. Yeah, this is cool. Let's go shoot some photos. So neat. One. Are you standing over there, Ryan?
I'm just trying to expose the shot, especially somewhere dark like that, it's balanced for exposure and balanced for composition as well, and kind of try to make a mood where it's kind of mysterious as well with it being so dark in there, but having enough ambient light from a headlight to light the cave. So that was kind of my perspective on that, or I guess foresight when shooting that. So.
We just got done from the glaciers, just about a 10-minute drive down 93 North, and at Panther Falls right now, and gonna go check out the waterfall and see what we can see at nighttime, so it should be pretty interesting.
Oh, nice, look at that. Oh yeah, this is a highway.
That you can actually see the snow too.
Yeah.
Saturday night lights.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Cool.
You're saying you've never seen it form like this?
Yeah, just checking out with my 1,000,000-watt lumen headlamp. Yeah, no, I haven't seen it form with this much of a curtain before, which is really cool. So, pretty neat. Put on some crampons and a helmet and check it out.
We went from the glacier to Panther Falls. Kind of wanted to see what it looked like there at night. Definitely a little trickier there with shooting and conditions, and kind of also being tired by the end of the day, but it's a pretty cool spot in the winter where the waterfall freezes kind of over itself, and you can go behind the waterfall, and just dependent each year how the water freezes and how cold it gets and how quick it gets cold. Yeah, it can leave some cool formations and some other interesting scenes to shoot for sure. So.
Yeah, a little tricky in there, but should be okay for sure. Definitely getting a little tired. Been a long day. This vehicle is too nice for us mountain people.
We went to bed around 12:30, I think it was, and then we were up around 5:30 to try to catch sunrise. So usually with photography, sleep is kind of on the back burner of everything, and it's usually conditions that trump a lot of that stuff. So Abraham's known for the methane bubbles. They don't only form at Abraham, but Abraham's kind of the best location for it because it's so windy out here that if it does snow, it usually buffs the ice off, and it usually polishes it and gives you more opportunity to see them.
What are you kind of looking for in the bubbles? Like what kind of?
Just kind of like a kind of clustered together that's isolated from a lot, just so you can have something aesthetically pleasing for foreground with the bubbles, and then hopefully a mountain in the background. So
the methane bubbles are formed just by the organic material decomposing on the floor of the lake or the reservoir here, and then that equates to methane, and in the winter that methane freezes in the ice and causes this phenomenon that everyone's comes here to shoot.
Just getting my polarizer set up so I can cut the glare off the ice here and get a little bit more definition with these ice chunks that are in the ice. So just spinning my polarizer, you can see the more I go, the more glare gets cut off, and you get way more definition there. Yeah, we came here for the bubbles, but we found these cool frozen ice chunks in the water, so the lake must have opened up at some point, and then the ice chunks froze back in. And I mean, the bubbles are cool, but this is certainly a little bit different and a little bit more, I think, unique right now. So I'm gonna shoot this first for sunrise, and the clouds are looking good, but hopefully the sun puts some color into the sky here.
Generally, people come here to Abraham Lake for the bubbles, but as the season goes on, with the lake freezing and thawing over time and such, you do get a layer of frost on the lake, and as well as snow, and the bubbles aren't as prominent as they are when the ice first forms. That being said, it was really cool. We came out here and there was an area of the lake that opened up and refroze, and there was a whole bunch of ice frozen within the ice, I guess you could say, and it was really neat just with the patterns on the ice. Obviously, being within the area now, you kind of come out to some of these spots sometimes with an expectation of trying to capture a certain photo, or you have a mental image of what you want to capture, but that's not always the case, and sometimes you got to make do. And for instance, when we went to Abraham Lake here, we were coming for the bubbles, but we found these neat patterns in the ice, and that kind of interested me way more than the bubbles even. So sometimes you got to look above and beyond what the expectations are, I think. I think, like, with the digital world now, like, you just gotta go shoot, and that's the biggest thing. I think the hardest thing with the digital world now is post-processing and editing, whereas before, if you're shooting film, like, the type of film you shot that's what you got. Or per se now, like, when you shoot a digital, what you get is just a raw image, and your post-processing is kind of your own take and art on the photo at the end of the day, right? So you just gotta go shoot.